So Connor, it's been a couple of weeks since you've been my co-host on the podcast. I've honestly really enjoyed it. It's a lot better when Taylor's not around, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
he's
would
really
you?
got out there.
Yeah, I mean, we've almost gotten canceled a few times, but I mean, you only live once, right? I honestly think we should just like continue the podcast, just us two. Like, I mean, it's season 2 now, so it's time for new beginnings. So we might as
I
well
mean,
just kick Taylor off the
He-
podcast and
Wheeler wouldn't let me drink beer while we were on the podcast before, so like,
exactly, yeah. And I drink
oh,
water all the time, so that won't change anything. But
What did you just
oh,
say, Connor?
non-alcoholic entry.
hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Tech Unlocked podcast. This is season 2. Very exciting stuff. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and as you guys noticed, we've got a new intro as well. We've got a new intro track, and we're also recording on a different platform from StreamYard. We are using Riverside FM. We're not being sponsored. Will be nice, but it's higher quality, and it's just gonna take me an extra 3 or 4 hours to edit the podcast, but it'll be all worth it. And I think we're also doing thumbnails for this season, so that's even more work on me. But
Ooh.
we're gonna go viral with this podcast. I can already feel it.
Well, that intro alone will get us viral.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, we might, this video might be canceled, and then we'll probably have to move on to Rumble, just because of that, because of your stunt, there, Connor. But
So, should we address the elephant in the room before we get into tech news?
well, what's the elephant in the room?
Your best friend. She's gone. Rip. You know the
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Charles.
The Queen.
Yeah.
Rest
Rip.
in peace, Queen Elizabeth.
Rest in spaghetti, never forgetty.
Onto tech stuff. So at the end of the episode, we're going to talk about a couple of things in terms of like how the podcast is going to work a little bit for going forward. And also I test drove two Teslas in the past couple of weeks, so we'll talk about that. And Taylor's also going to talk about Final Cut Pro and his experience. That's going to be at the end of the episode, and we're going to talk about news from now until basically that. So we've got a lot of tech news. I'll just say that. And we also haven't done an episode in a little while. It's been like 2 weeks, I think. So we've got Apple event happened this week. We're going to talk about that, cover what happened with that. We've got some iPhone 14 Pro news, leaks, rumored stuff, which it's not out yet. So we've got some information for you guys. We also have Brazil. That is put a big stumbling block for Apple. Mark Gurman's leaked some stuff about Apple Reality Pro and other reality headsets. The EU's doing more stupid laws to constrain phone manufacturers. John Prosser's got another wild leak about the iPhone SE. We've got some Pixel Watch spec upgrade news things. That's going to be exciting. And we also have Samsung trolling Apple with a bunch of stuff. And we've also got Twitter with some very highly anticipated features coming soon. So starting off with Apple event, guys, did you both watch it? Did you both enjoy it? What did you think?
Man, listen. I think that was one of the
Taylor's not
best
impressed.
Apple events
Oh, okay.
yet. No, I am impressed actually. Um, I think that I mean I've always thought that it should stay the way it is, but unfortunately, I think sooner or later they're gonna go back to in person. I know Google event is gonna be in person. And yeah, so I
Yeah,
see
because
it
Google's
going
just too
back.
lazy.
Google's
That's the
just too
problem.
late.
They don't
Yeah,
care. They don't care
yeah.
about quality. Like even their last few
No.
events that they've done online were like a half-hearted effort at beating
Yeah,
Apple.
To be
yeah.
non Prosser literally launched the phone for them, so all they had to do was, yeah, so go watch Smartwatch Tech.
Exactly. Yeah, just go watch Front Page Tech. He's got all the information for you guys.
I'm surprised
Um,
he didn't try I'm surprised he didn't necessarily try and leak anything last minute.
Oh,
I'm
with the
very,
Apple event?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm very
I
surprised.
I
Yeah,
kind
because
of
the
feel like
last with
I
the
kind of feel like
last
he's
event, I think it
disappeared.
was. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think he's had a couple of things go on in his life, so I
yeah.
guess he's got
Tim
that.
Cook got to him, you know.
Yeah,
He
Tim Cook showed up to his house with their Apple car and was like, "John, you got to stop doing what you're doing.
took him
You're
out,
you're
shot him in the head. You know how it
you're
is.
you're scaring the customers away. It's
Right.
you won't be able to buy iPhones anymore." And so John's
How's the
just in
iPhone
his house
14
crying now.
doing?
Huh?
How's the iPhone 14 leak doing?
Jeez.
So let's talk about what Apple announced at this event. Before we take another 10 minutes talking about John Prosser and getting arrested by Tim Cook. So iPhone 14 Pro has been announced with the dynamic island, which I think is pretty cool. It's got a 48 megapixel camera. It's got a bunch of other really cool features. No 8K video, which is kind of disappointing. They announced the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus, which are the worst phones Apple has ever released, in my opinion. You guys can go check out a video on my channel that I did about it.
Right here.
The the ad for the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus I thought was very, very strange, and their music choice was interesting to say the least. And it was just a weird ad. I tweeted it and somebody was like, "No, I think it was a great ad." I was like, "Okay, you do you." And then Apple also, yeah, so the iPhone 14 is basically a repackaged iPhone 13 with new colors and better battery. I don't know if they're going to sell a truckload. I think they're going to sell. I don't think it's going to really sell that well. At least the 14.
To unbox therapy, and he's not going to give them away, even though he claims
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's just gonna buy like 100 and then return them after he's made a video giveaway. Also, new AirPods Pro have come out, which I mean they've got some cool features. Apple Watch Ultra, which I don't think looks like an Apple product at all. It's a very ruggedized version. It's cheaper than we thought though. Apple Watch Series 7.1, or should I say Apple Watch 6.1, because it's basically the same.
Apple Watch
which has crash detection and health features for women. So if you're not a woman, buy an Apple Watch Series 7. If you are a woman, then maybe the Series 8 might be cool for you.
Before this, I really struggled to check my menstrual cycles. Now,
the Apple Watch has changed Connor's life. he goes by she her now, by the way. Apple Watch SE as well. The new Apple Watch SE has been announced, and Apple Fitness Plus is now available on just iPhones. So that's the event recap for you, guys. Do you want to talk about anything specific about any of these products? Did you order anything, by the way?
If you were stuck on a dynamic island, what's 3 things you would bring with you?
What was that?
Oh God.
I didn't hear a word of you said, but
he was just like, if you were stuck on Dynamic Island, what would you bring with you?
Oh, I would bring the iPhone with a dynamic island, so then I have a dynamic island inside a dynamic island.
Oh.
No, in all seriousness, I'd just bring the song they used in the iPhone 14 ad and just blast it on my island, and then
I would
scream
bring
out the wrong word.
Cool. I would bring the Apple Watch Ultra and use that new fancy SOS feature.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So did you buy one then, Connor? Did you get an Apple Watch Ultra?
I have an Apple Watch Ultra right here, as you can see, very rugged, Series 6.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so do I. I actually, yeah.
Go buy one. Connor has them, and I just have the Series 8. This is a Series 8, guys.
Oh yeah, it's a Series 8.
Not a Series 7. It's a Series 8. It doesn't. The crash detection's broken, but other than that, it's fine.
Benjy broke his.
I can tell if I'm in a car accident without having to consult with my watch.
How insulting would that? If you were just in a car accident, you were just lying there, and your phone says, "It appears you've been in a car accident." How insulting would that be if you're just lying there dying?
No, I was watching. I saw a TikTok video last night, and it was Trevor Noah. He's like a funny comedian. He was kind of commentating on the Apple event, and he's like, "How on earth is the phone supposed to survive a car crash, and then notify? Because most of the time the phone's just gonna be crushed by itself, so it can't send any signal or anything. Same with the watch. So like, yeah, crash detection is cool for probably like 8 out of 10 crashes, but then those
Yeah.
2 crashes, the person's just gonna crash in the middle of the desert, and then nobody's gonna come to them because the phone's destroyed.
Benji, you've been in a Tesla. You can use it when you use the FSD beta, because that's going to
Oh,
happen.
that's true. Yeah, I completely agree. it just goes on a red light and then gets, yeah, it's gonna be great.
It appears you're using FSD
But yeah.
beta.
But did any of you get anything, or are you thinking of getting anything in the future? No, Taylor.
I'm not thinking.
I know Taylor bought everything.
Oh
He's
yeah,
actually
everything in the
Marquez.
book.
He works
Yeah,
for-
he didn't post any screenshots because he didn't want to get people roasting him.
No,
Oh yeah, no. you just,
listen, I wish I did. I wish I did. The only
If
thing
you
that
could buy anything, Taylor, if you could buy any of the things, what would you buy?
the new SE, the bands, of course, to try out, and the new AirPods.
So
And
even if money isn't an issue, you'd go with the SE instead of the Ultra or the Series 8.
yes, yes.
that's the same kind.
Okay, fair enough. It's the what?
That's the logic that made them put the Magic Mouse charger on the bottom.
True. No, but
No, but
I
the SE is kind
honestly
of dope.
think, yeah, it is. So I think I
I
would
like the box.
definitely do good with the SE. Um, and the reason I would get AirPods is, of course, the new features and everything. And Benji,
Fine
I
line.
think Connor, I don't know if you know about the story, but Benji, you remember the fake pods, right? That I
Yeah,
Oh
had.
yeah.
I remember that. You tweeted me
Okay.
in a mad rage.
Oh yeah. So um, I got the regular, I got the real AirPods, and my dad had stayed with the fake ones. Well, now he can't find them, so he's
I'll
just
find mine.
like, dude. I even tried Find My, and it says no location to be found. So they might be dead somewhere. No, they used to work. They used to work. Um, so yeah,
So now he's
yeah.
gonna buy AirPods Pro 2. Second gen
So
AirPods Pro.
Number-
I, I mean, I thought about it, but I don't know
So you're saying there's
To be
how
honest,
well he.
the the only reason why I would get the second gen AirPods Pro, which I probably will eventually, is just because of Find My. That's the
Yeah.
only reason.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
yes, the double noise, the extra noise cancellation is nice. I guess it's gonna be higher quality and stuff like that. But I mean, my AirPods Pro, I got both of them replaced recently, and the battery life is still okay. So I think what I might do is get AirPods Max instead, because I found them for like £50 more than the AirPods Pro.
I
Oh
They're
wow.
used, but instead of getting AirPods Pro, I might as well just get those.
I
Because I already have AirPods
I'm not
Pro.
ruling out the chance of me picking up the new AirPods Pro eventually. Because I'm not saying I'll never pick them up, because I probably will. I said I'd never pick up AirPods Pro, but I'd probably pick up AirPods Max before I pick up AirPods Pro, just because I like the idea of the proper over ears for editing these videos and that kind of thing.
What do you guys think about the iPhone 14? And in all honesty, do you think somebody should buy the iPhone 14? Taylor's
Okay,
gonna say yes.
yeah, but go ahead, Connor.
Because
I'm
the
talking
13
about the regular 14, not the 14
yeah,
Plus or the
yeah, I'm talking
yeah.
about that. Because the 13 Pro costs the same as a 14 now. So why not get a 13 Pro? It's basically like a 13 Pro minus anyways.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's literally the iPhone 14 is like it's literally the iPhone 13 Pro. Even the Mac, the Plus, it's a 13 Pro with one less camera. Doesn't have 120 hertz. Um,
Yeah, there's literally no reason to get it.
unless you really need action mode.
No one needs that. Just buy a gimbal.
Exactly.
It'll be better
Samsung's had
anyway.
it for years. Buy a Samsung. Um,
And that was my only reason of buying the iPhone 14. Because you
just get
guys
the
know
14
that.
Pro at that point,
Yeah,
True,
like there's $200 difference.
and
true.
you get
You
Dynamic
know,
Island. Like you can't find Dynamic Island on the iPhone 14.
you can't get lost on a notch. You can get lost on a dynamic island. Wouldn't be the time to speak.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, that
Like
is
if you want to
true.
go on
That is-
holiday, if you want to go on holiday, do you go to a landlocked place or do you go to an island? Let's go to
Right.
Dynamic Island.
It's my
It's
logic.
better
That's
in
why
so
I'm
many
going to
ways.
spend 2.3 grand on an iPhone.
Yeah, who needs to go on holiday? Just go to Dynamic Island.
It's actually really funny. This is a side tangent here, but it's really funny. The base spec 14-inch MacBook Pro costs the same as a 2 terabyte iPhone 14 Pro Max here.
Oh wow.
Wait, 2 terabyte?
Well, 1 terabyte.
Oh,
It
one
costs the
terabyte. I was
same.
like, wait, since when I missed something here. Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
costs the
crazy.
same as a 1 terabyte 14 Pro Max as the 14-inch MacBook Pro base model. So MacBook Pro, which one?
Yeah, exactly. And nobody needs
Yeah,
one
true.
terabyte on their iPhone anyway.
Mac
I'm
has.
I'm sure there's probably like 2 people in the world that have filled it all up. I don't know how. Congrats to you if you did. But I think 128 gigabytes or even 256 is enough for pretty much anyone.
Oh yeah,
Unless
for
you're a
sure.
film studio that's bizarrely using iPhones instead of
No
DSLRs or Cine cameras. Um, but yeah, new products that are basically I think the iPhone 14, same it's literally an iPhone 13.
Yeah.
AirPods Pro is like AirPods Pro with a couple of extra features. Apple Watch Ultra is for like 5 people in the world who'll actually use it to its full advantage. Apple Watch Series 8 is only for women. Apple Watch SE 2 is for
just
people who want an Apple Watch and they don't want to buy an older one. And then iPhone 14 Pro is for everyone who wants the fancy phone. I think the iPhone 14 Pro is the only product that is actually, I think, worth buying if you live in the US, probably. Because if you live outside of
Yeah.
the US, like here in the UK, it's £150 more than last year's.
it's over €200 more here for like a base 14.
Exactly. So if you live outside of the US, it might not be worth it. But also, you have to consider that if you live in the US, you're not getting a SIM tray. So what I would suggest for people who really need the SIM card tray, come over to the UK and I'll buy one for you. Of course, with your money, but I'll buy one for you. You'll spend like 150. You'll spend £150 more, basically $200 more, just for a SIM card tray, and it's worth it. I mean,
Just make sure you come after
why
the
not?
next 10 days, because if you come in the next 10 days, the Apple Store will be closed.
Secondly, we have here A16 in iPhone 14 Pro is 17% faster than A15 in the 13 Pro in a new benchmark. What do you guys think?
I expected that.
Yeah, I did as well. It's
Oh yeah,
nothing special. It's like it's a new chip.
A15s.
What are they gonna do? Make it slower or?
yeah, exactly.
One thing is,
That's my thoughts.
I'm interested to see if there's gonna be any difference with the A15 version 2 as opposed to
Yeah,
the regular A15.
just one more graphics
Probably
chip.
not
It's the same as the M1
It does.
with 7 cores or 8 cores.
It might perform worse just because it can't go to Dynamic Island.
right,
I know
right.
they need to rejuvenate themselves at the Dynamic Island.
Exactly. Like the A15 has been out for over a year. It's been powering all of these phones for so long. It needs to go to Dynamic Island. Kind of disappointing. But A16 is there. So by the time A16 comes to the 15, it's gonna be good. It's been to Dynamic Island, so it's gonna be chill and relaxed.
Tell me you recorded a podcast. Without telling me you recorded a podcast today, Dynamic
Uh,
Anyway, that's that
I, de-
topic.
I definitely don't have the iPhone 14 Pro right now. No, I'm kidding.
Wait, can I borrow it? I want to get 1 million views in a
Yeah,
day.
you actually yes. You went to the Apple event and stole it from Nick. Yes, that's why you
Oh
have
god.
yes.
I I think the guy hates me as it is. I don't want him to hate me even more.
Controversial topics aside, the iPhone 14 display has gone 2 times brighter, up to 2,000 nits outdoors, which technically makes it an XDR display.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
No one
Wait,
cares.
where's my?
Jeez.
Amazing! Innovation at its finest.
I know.
No, in all seriousness though, I'm actually excited about it because when I use my iPhone 13 mini outside in the sun, sometimes it's hard to see.
Yeah,
And
but
if
that's
it's 2 times brighter, well, it'll be more than 2 times brighter because the display on the 13 Pro is already better.
True.
So that's exciting. So now, not only does the sun blind you, but your phone can as well.
Good luck when you
Just imagine. Can you just imagine though, like those older people who are gonna have, who are gonna buy the 14 Pro and just have it on full brightness all the time? Just at night, they just take out their phone.
the cataracts.
They're just blind. Man goes blind because iPhone 14 Pro is too bright.
Old man yells at iPhone.
Old man sues Apple for blinding him.
Benji, that accent that you just made reminded me of that guy on TikTok that that teaches Chinese. You know, have you ever seen those TikToks?
Yeah, I've seen them. Oh my days. Anyway, so let's go back to Dynamic Island for a minute, because you're gonna be blinded by the lights of the sun, not the sun, but your phone, and you're gonna need to recover. Your eyes are gonna need to recover. And how do you recover your eyes? By resting. And so we're gonna go to Dynamic Island. So the iPhone 14 Pro's new Dynamic Island features camera and microphone indicators as rumored. So you're gonna be on Dynamic Island and you're gonna get these these green and red flash indicators when you're recording and stuff, which is what was already rumored a couple weeks ago. Which means Dynamic Island is actually 2 islands. So you've got the pill and then you've got the eye, which in the middle is being blacked out, but you're actually gonna get LED indicators there to notify you of different things. So that's gonna be cool. Moving on.
Such a mind. So all those leaks.
Let's leave Dynamic Island now. Taylor, you can take us away from Dynamic Island.
Jeez. So
we've been here too long.
So the iPhone 14 Pro delivery estimates begin slipping into October. Damn.
I was watching the pre-orders yesterday, and it was crazy how fast they were selling.
Yeah, but the 14, 14 Plus just didn't sell. Like, I'm pretty sure they have a truckload of them just saying Apple Park.
Yeah, no, nobody bought the 14. I'm sure.
I was going into my program yesterday, and I was watching TechWiz Tech, and he was saying that, like, you know, it's gonna go into like the mid to end October. He's actually getting one for views, and then he's gonna either return it or sell it again, whatever he's gonna do. But I didn't really catch it much. I'm just like,
instead of leaving the phones for the talking about iPhone 14, I've literally just spec'd out a product red iPhone 14, and I can get it on launch day.
Yeah, because they have a truckload of them, and all they can do is give them to the homeless because no one wants to buy them.
Exactly. Unless somebody needs that baby blue iPhone, they're like, I need it.
If you're just there on the street sitting there, do you have cash? No, but I'll give you a brand new iPhone. How insulting would that be?
I'll give you 2. I'm generous. Here's 2.
I can't eat that.
They'll just go into Subway and be like, "Can I trade an iPhone for a sub?"
Yeah.
No, it's not legal tender.
We don't live in the Roman Empire isn't in charge of our thing.
Yeah,
We're
right.
cancelled.
But yeah, so if you want to get an iPhone 14 Pro, you'll probably have to wait a little while unless you get it from somewhere else, like some carrier
Benjy.
that will have it.
Benjy will buy you an iPhone.
I got it from a carrier, so
Benjy Mobile.
anyway. But
He's just going to start selling off the mobile towers. Or the old 2
Come
towers,
on.
whatever. UK.
Come on, Benjy. You have enough money. You can buy us an iPhone.
Yeah, and
no,
I thought it was a policy that everyone in the podcast got provided so that they could.
No, I had to donate all my money to the Queen's family because they're going to Dynamic Island.
Oh shit.
You had to donate it to the Queen's Fund because the UK is already bankrupt and they're going to be paying for a funeral for years to come.
We're so canceled.
Let's just move on. Let's just move on before we get canceled even more. We keep going back to Dynamic Island. We have to leave. Dynamic Island isn't good.
Dynamic Island's gonna sink if we don't get off. Benjy,
wait, Mr. Beast has just bought Dynamic Island, so we're getting evicted.
So Brazil is not letting you sell. Not letting
you buy.
So Brazil is not happy. They want you to be able to have a charger with your iPhone. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen Apple remove something from the iPhone box, and a country's been a bit iffy about it. A couple of years ago, when they removed the charging brick and the headphones from the iPhone box with the 12, they had to provide a charger and headphones with every single purchase of an iPhone 12 in France and Brazil.
That's
so like a separate box. The iPhone came within a box. So like, what do you think? Will they actually give in to this or?
So basically, for everybody who doesn't know what's going on, Brazil was like, "Look, Apple, we like to buy new phones, but you're not shipping a charger. Can you please put the charger in the box?" And Apple was like, "No, environment." And it's like, okay. And so they're like, "Okay, we're just gonna ban you from selling iPhones altogether." So if you live in Brazil and you've seen Dynamic Island and how great it is on the iPhone 14 Pro, you can't actually buy one.
Oh, that sucks.
Because Apple doesn't ship a charger for it.
Is there electricity?
Honestly, what? Is there electricity in Brazil? I think there is.
You don't need a charging brick if there's no electricity.
So you can't have a charger. It's sad. I feel sad for the Brazilians because they really wanted that phone with Dynamic Island, or they really wanted the iPhone 13.1, but they can't because Apple's not selling chargers.
Oh, tough.
I think Apple's probably just gonna give in at that point because I mean there's a lot of people buying iPhones in Brazil. I think. I mean, there's people buying iPhones everywhere. So what they're probably going to do is they're going to do like they do in France, where they just have like a separate box attached to the box and just throw a charger in there. They'll probably throw the 5-watt charging brick just to be like, come with the charger now.
I'm very sure everyone in Ukraine got like a voucher to get a free iPhone when this is all over.
Yeah, because they don't have iPhones there now.
Well, they don't have an Apple store anymore either.
Well, no, that's Russia that doesn't have anything. Anyway, moving on to things that won't get us cancelled. So Ming Chi Kuo is claiming that Apple is going to further separate the devices in the iPhone 15 lineup with different features. Amazing. So it's not yet clear how capabilities could be separated across the 15 lineup. Some features such as Dynamic Island expected to expand to entire selection of devices, but iPhone 15 Pro Max could be the only model to feature a periscope telephoto camera system. I don't exactly know what he's trying to say here, but basically, they're going to separate the two lineups even more than they are now. So like right now, they've got different chips, they've got different cameras, they've got, one has a holiday destination, the other one doesn't. So, and one has colors that look, I don't know, questionable. Yeah, cheap.
So
like I'm just looking at this picture again of the colors on the iPhone 14. Like, what were they thinking? These are so bland.
So what you mean to tell me is they're going to make the Pro models better next year, like they've been doing for the last since the 11 Pro? Shocker.
I doubt it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, they're gonna be the exact same as the iPhone 13 and 14.
Just
I mean, we've seen it with the Apple Watch, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is all information now. I mean, I got an iPhone 12. There's literally no difference between this and the 14. Can you point?
No, Connor. The camera was moved, so that really changes the way you use your phone.
Yeah, but like
because it's diagonal. It's not vertical anymore.
Yeah, but apart from the camera,
it looks better. It functions better.
Yeah, but 12.
No, Connor, you don't understand. Because the cameras are diagonal now, the camera's better.
We're going to have to talk about this more after the podcast. You're going to have to explain that to me again. About makes sense.
No, it's all about geometry. Anyway, Taylor, do you want to talk about the next topic?
I forgot where we were.
Science.
Bugatti.
Yay. Bugatti. What color is your Bugatti? 8.
So, yeah.
What color is your iPhone 14? What color is your dynamic island?
Wouldn't you look at all?
So now we're gonna talk about Elon Musk. We've had promising conversations with Apple about Starlink connectivity. What do you guys make of this? I've heard very little about this, but
Tesla and Apple were talking about having Starlink satellite connectivity, because like we've been hearing about satellite connectivity with the iPhone for over a year, and we thought it was going to be like, oh, it's going to basically, instead of using cell towers, you're going to use satellites, but that didn't end up happening. We just got like this emergency SOS feature that only works in the US and Canada and will be free for only 2 years. So if after 2 years you don't pay for the subscription and you're outside in the middle of the desert, you're going to die. But yeah, so what?
Yeah, so what happens if, okay, it's like I'm in the desert. I'm on the back of my camel and I'm just riding through the desert, as you do. And the camel stops, bucks you off, goes. On the last day of your service, you're trekking for hours back the way. You're dying of thirst. It's 12:01 and your service is gone. So you're just going to die because you're day out of service. That's
where you use the satellite. That's where you use the satellite connectivity.
Yeah, but if you're 1 day out of service,
but then your phone dies. Oh yeah. Oh no, yeah, you're dead. Like Tim Cook doesn't care about you anymore. You're dead. You're dead enough.
I'm sorry, hon. I can't get us off the side of this cliff because I didn't pay for the cell connectivity.
First date gone wrong.
Damn.
But yeah, so basically what Elon Musk said about the Starlink connectivity, he said, we've had some promising conversations with Apple about Starlink connectivity. iPhone team is obviously super smart. For sure, closing link from space to phone will work best if phone software and hardware adapt to space-based signals versus Starlink purely emulating cell tower. So whatever that means. So we might get like cellular satellite connectivity eventually because Tim Cook and Elon Musk apparently are friends now. Speaking of Tim Cook, Connor, do you wanna tell us what Tim Cook said in an interview?
Tim Cook said buy an iPhone because RCS is a big no-no.
Basically.
Why not?
So Tim Cook was straight up asked in an interview, "Why don't you adopt RCS?" And he's like,
Why don't you have
"Well,
an
just
iPhone?
buy your mom an iPhone. Like, I'd love to convert you to an iPhone. Why don't you just buy an iPhone?"
Isn't that what I know? This is off this exact topic, but didn't Craig Federighi say to Marquez when Marquez asked why the iPad doesn't have a calculator app? Didn't Craig say we'll get a calculator app when Marquez switches to an iPhone? Craig said that to Marquez.
So when he just uses an
Damn.
iPhone,
I think
the
so. I
world
think
will
I heard that.
change.
It was
No, but
the video.
this is the funniest thing though. So Tim Cook said, "I don't hear our users asking that we put a lot of energy in on that at this point." So basically, us iPhone users, we don't care about RCS because we know better than to have a friend that has an Android phone, right? So
Yeah.
if we have friends, they either have to have an iPhone. This is the same thing as the sparkling water argument with what's his
Sony
name?
water.
Andrew Tate. So if you gather, so this is what you do, guys. You gather your
no.
friends round. This is what you do. You gather them around at your house, and you're telling them to pull their phone out. If one of them has an Android phone, slap
kick
it out
them
of their
out.
hand. Tell them they need an iPhone. Tell them they can only come back if they have an iPhone. If not, don't be friends with that person anymore.
Tell them they're poor and they should get out of your life.
Exactly. Even if
Oh,
they've
damn.
bought a Galaxy Z Fold 4 for like $2,000, even
That's
then
travesty. It's basically
they have
a
to
Z
buy an
Fold 3S.
Apple. A what?
That's a Z Fold 3S.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, that's besides the point. So if they have a foldable Samsung phone, just tell them, listen, if you want to if we want to have a group text message, you can't have this phone. You have to buy an iPhone. So it's not that hard. If you want RCS, if you want to message your friends and you don't want them to show up as green bubbles and you want to send them images and stuff, just buy an iPhone. Get them to buy an iPhone.
What's funny is that everyone in my personal life has an iPhone or using Discord. So I like RCS.
Discord's not good enough. You have to use iMessage.
Yeah, but they're Android users. So
I'll tell them to buy an iPhone.
Oh, yeah, no.
Cook said. You shouldn't be friends with them.
I don't care that I don't have RCS because I have the more superior platform.
You also have a phone that you don't have to decide every time you pull it out whether you want to open it or if you want to use the outer screen.
Yeah,
and you don't have to decide. And if you want to use your phone, you don't have to pull it out and open it up all the time. It's just there.
People are putting their Z Flips in their pockets open. They're not closing them.
That's what I would do. I would do that, honestly. Like, having to pull out your phone and every time, I have to open it up. And then they're like, but you could use the little screen outside. You can't do anything on that.
It's literally just the time clock. That's literally all it is.
And exactly. And you could... And a very bad viewfinder.
We'll talk.
So iMessage, of course, is an Apple product, and another Apple product that Apple is working on is the AR/VR headset, which we've been hearing for almost a decade, probably now. But they've finally filed trademarks for Reality Pro, the Reality Processor, and Reality One. So the Reality Processor is probably the Apple Silicon processor they're going to put in there. Reality Pro is the name of the glasses or the headset, and Reality One, I think, is the software that's going to be on it, or maybe that's Reality OS.
Reality One is going to be the...
It's happening.
To the metaverse.
Right. Yeah. So it's happening. So we're getting a $3,000 Apple product that you could put on your face to watch TV.
But if you think about it, okay, this is the easy part. The headset is the easy part. When they go to condense this down to a piece of glasses, like to a pair of glasses, when they go to condense it down to that, they are super intricate and delicate. So delicate. Like, I sat on my Ray-Ban stories and broke them.
Sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
The fact that I could sit on my Ray-Ban stories and wait.
What the, what the fuck is that?
You were saying.
Oh yeah, I was.
Oh god.
The fact that I sat on my Ray-Ban stories accidentally, I broke them. You know, they're that fragile. If Apple wants to do a pair of glasses, they're going to have to do some serious work to make them, you know,
Durable.
not break.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen what they've done with the Apple Watch Ultra, so I think we're in safe hands.
Yeah, but that also looks like.
Because. True. It's not the prettiest watch of all.
I mean, it's not for everybody. I'll say that, but I
Taylor
think
likes it.
that
It's for people who don't care about design.
exactly.
Exactly.
It's for people who need a watch that they can just smash their arm on the wall and not have to worry.
And it's not even that, but like, you know, what if these people have both watches and, you know, one for you know, sports and whatever, and one for daily use that they take on the go, you know?
That you have an Apple Watch just for sports.
I mean,
Connor, that's what I do. I've got like 5 different Apple Watches that I rotate every day.
Actually, now that I say that, I actually had 3 Apple Watches.
I have one for sleeping, one for driving, one for eating. I have one for when I go out for a walk every 3 months, and I have one for working at my desk, and I also have one for when I need to look cool in public, and I'm wearing a suit and stuff. So I've got 5 different Apple Watches.
I have a 24-karat Apple Watch that I just leave there for just on my desk as my desk clock.
Oh yeah, how much was that? That was like 15 grand, yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Worth every
spent
penny,
like
right?
50 grand on my desk clock. That's normal.
I mean,
right?
yeah, that's a great, especially when you have a Bugatti. Like,
No, I have a
you can afford
Tesla
it.
Model S outside. I love
Oh,
it.
damn.
Oh yeah, the most expensive one, yeah.
Oh yeah, I got the Plaid. I'm not poor.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got 2 Model X's sat in my driveway. Yeah.
Oh,
Amazing.
but that's the soccer mom Tesla. You don't want that.
No, but it's the maxed out version. It has the doors that open up. It can fly.
I hate to break it to you, but unless you're a soccer mom, you don't need it. Get a Model X.
I'll go sell them right now. I'll go sell them.
I have 5 Roadsters sitting in my garage, so you know.
Ooh, the new ones.
Oh yeah, Elon Musk sent them personally to me. I got the one from space. It fell.
Oh wow. It fell in your garden.
It's my garden.
Connor, if a car fell on your house, you'd be dead right now. I'm just saying.
I never said I was in the house when it happened.
He was just walking by one day, and then just Tesla just crashed in his garden. Anywho, let's move on.
Tech news.
Yeah, this is
Tech
becoming
news, yeah.
the. Oh god, where were we?
This is a comedy show now.
Genius Bar.
Hey, you know what? Genius.
No, it's Genius Bar on steroids.
Apple Reality Pro to be first of 3 Apple AR and VR headset devices. Okay.
I'm not gonna get used to that.
But
That's
but
exciting.
But
Wow.
hang on a second. What if they actually took out the Pro and named it Ultra? Look at what they did with the watch.
Oh,
We
That would be
But it's,
terrible.
They're
I
gonna have three
mean,
tiers: the Pro, the Ultra, and the Apple Reality
we,
one.
Yeah, and the Ultra's gonna be made so you can go hiking with it and you can go climb Mount
Oh,
Everest with
what
it.
if the Ultra? What if the Apple Reality Ultra is what they're gonna call the glasses? Because like it's even more than that. Like, well,
I can't keep a serious face.
I'm gonna bring a sound bar into this, not sound bar, but soundboard next week if I'm invited back after this week.
I was gonna.
Connor was streaming.
Yeah,
This is all a dream.
I never come back.
Anyway, let's get back to tech news. Sorry.
You're gonna have so much edit.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You did this to yourself.
Yeah. Ah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's me. Oh. Anyway, so the new MacBook Pros with the M2 Pro and M2 Max chip are well into development. Okay. So it's basically going to be a few more cores, but we don't need more cores. We need higher powered cores.
Yep.
Yeah.
no,
So,
but more is better. You don't need bigger. You've heard the term bigger is better, but it's not. So yeah, MacBook Pro is well into development. Awesome. Moving on. So the EU drafts a proposal to require phone makers to provide spare parts for 5 years and ensure a larger battery life. So the EU is forcing companies to do something else again.
So
How
Apple
fun.
self-repair costs longer.
Yeah.
Isn't Apple kind of covered for that though? Self-repair, so it doesn't really impact anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it says up to 5 years now. So they'll have to probably go back and support older devices.
Can't wait to fix the battery on my iPhone 6 and start using that again.
Damn.
Yes, exactly. Everybody needs their iPhone 5 fixed. They're 6.
iPhone 6
So yeah,
lifespan.
EU is doing a lot of interesting stuff, including this. Like, how are they going to ensure longer battery life though? Like, are they going to force Apple and other companies to like repair batteries at low cost, or are they just going to force them to come up with technology that makes the battery last longer?
So do you remember the Energizer phone?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Slap
That.
on. That's it.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. Better for the environment, right? Let's develop bigger batteries.
Because I hear Energizer have a great environmental policy.
God.
Okay, we can move on. We can move on now, Taylor.
Yeah.
All right. So Apple's U.S. iPhone user base overtook Android in June quarter. Now accounts for more than half of all smartphones.
Wow.
Wow. Real cool. How cool is that?
Oh yeah.
Nobody was expecting that.
I mean,
I mean,
Android's downhill ever since, the Galaxy S10. So, like, it was a matter of time.
Nobody likes Samsung anymore. Nobody likes Android anymore.
What is this Samsung you speak of? Is that a Chinese brand?
I don't know. I never heard of them. So yeah, over 50% of people in the U.S. own an iPhone. That's honestly pretty insane.
Yeah, but the US is also, we also have like houses that cost like £1 million. So, like, works out.
So do we. Buckingham Palace probably costs a lot.
We're almost there. Speaking of John Prosser, he says the 4th generation iPhone SE is going to adopt the same design as the iPhone XR. Who else saw that coming, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, why would, why wouldn't they?
Exactly.
Because
Why wouldn't they do that?
you
Well,
know what they'll do actually? They'll give the iPhone SE 3 a new color, the A16 Bionic chip, a 2-hour longer battery life, and USB-C, and they'll call it a day.
or they'll just stick to the same design as they've done for the past 3 generations.
And it won't change anything except for the chip, like they've done for the last 3 generations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I think it makes sense. I think on a serious note, I think the iPhone XR is old enough now where they can just recycle the design and call it an iPhone SE. And I think it'll sell more.
Oh, it will.
It'll definitely sell. Like, I think it's probably going to be the best selling iPhone.
Well,
Oh yeah.
were to
Ever.
recycle the iPhone 12 mini.
But that came out recently. I mean, they could do that.
Because that would be the ultimate SE.
But then there's people that want a bigger phone.
True. I don't care either way.
Unless they do the iPhone SE and the iPhone SE Plus. Problem solved. Why not? Anyway, we can move on. So let's move over to the other side of the walled garden. We're talking about Google. Sorry, Google. Google. The Pixel Watch. This is a bit old news. This came out on September 1st, but we're going to talk about it anyway because Taylor likes Samsung and Samsung watches. So specs, price, Wear OS 3, and everything we know so far about the Pixel Watch. This is from 9 to 5 Google.
Before you continue, Benjy, you're fired. Just for saying that.
Oh, no. Okay, so
rocking a Samsung watch as we speak, and those are the Pixel Buds A series in his ears.
They've just got a dbrand skin on them.
Damn.
So it's gonna be, I think here it says 40 millimeters, or 30 millimeters, whatever. We've already seen the design. There's nothing new. They've already leaked everywhere. It's gonna come in 3 colors: silver, black, and gold. They're probably gonna come up with some weird names for it.
I love gold.
Posh gold or something. It's gonna have a silicone band, which looks a bit weird. Fabric band, a stretch band, whatever that means. Oh yeah, probably like the solo loop. Yeah. 2 leather straps, link bracelet, and a Milanese style mesh band.
Apple Watch knockoff. If the Apple Watch was round.
Basically, yeah. Even from the back, it looks almost identical. It's gonna have 32 gigabytes of storage, 1.5 gigabytes of RAM. It's gonna be powered by the Exynos 9110.
I thought it was Tensor.
They're probably gonna name it Tensor because the Tensor chip is actually an Exynos chip, so it makes sense.
Yeah, for branding.
They'll just call it the Tensor W because they think this watch is a big W for people, but it's not. It's gonna charge via magnetic puck with USB-C on the other end.
Apple Watch.
It's gonna have GPS and LTE. Up to a GPS and up to 50 meters of water resistance. So yeah, so basically take the Apple Watch specs, make it round, slap WatchOS 3 on there. There you go. Oh yeah, we'll probably take the Apple Watch SE though, because this doesn't have ACG. Probably won't have car crash detection either.
Yeah, but you know, when you buy a Google phone, you probably don't have a car that's good enough to get up to a certain speed to crash.
No,
yeah.
No, but I think the Pixel 6 has crash detection already, so you don't need it on the watch.
No.
Yeah,
but
apparently it
you're
does.
on Pixel 6, you're not going to want to use the phone while you're driving. Anyways, you're not going to want to use that phone, so you're not going to crash.
Not even the watch. You're going to be needing to use the watch. It's going to be dead. It's going to be because apparently I think somebody said the battery life isn't going to be great, so it's not even gonna. The battery's not even going to last long for when you end up in that car crash.
Speaking of car crashes,
Okay, let's move on.
So Android 14. Damn, we're already on Android 14 topics. Will support satellite connectivity and partners. What? And this proves my point. This proves my point right here. What one company does, another one will follow. What one company
It's funny
does,
how
another
it's
one will
funny how
follow.
Android. It's funny how Android announced this days before the Apple event, where Apple would announce it. They always want to be first.
yeah.
So now
Well,
everybody's like, "Oh, Apple copied Android."
well, who's shipping the feature first? That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
think this is this type of satellite connectivity is gonna also be for the iPhone, because apparently both, well, iPhones and a bunch of Android manufacturers, they use like a modem that supports satellite connectivity, and also considering T-Mobile just announced they're bringing satellite connectivity to their phones.
So Garmin has a month-long battery, at least. But here's the thing: does anyone actually buy Garmin watches? Like, I know the Fenix 5 had to be charged.
Casey Neistat's like the only one.
Yeah, but like their Apple Watch competitors, like their Fenix 5, has to be charged up every night.
Apparently theirs lasts up to 30 days.
Yeah, they're crap
34,
watches.
sorry, 34.
They're digital watches, maybe.
We measure battery life in months, not hours. No, I think the smartwatch they have that does last like a month. I don't think it has a colored display. I think it's just black and white.
No, it's
And also, it doesn't even do like as much in terms of like notifications and stuff. Oh wait, it's got up to 150 hours of battery life in GPS mode with solar charging. That's why it lasts longer.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
So now that Apple has seen this, they're like, "Ooh, idea!" And they're gonna just build in a solar panel for the next Apple Watch, and everyone's gonna freak out.
They probably would. I mean,
And then the Android fanboys, because they won't know what to say, they're gonna come out and say, "Oh, we don't need that. Why would I ever want to do that? Why would we need a solar panel built into a watch? I can just charge it every night." They're definitely gonna say that if Apple were to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
The heck, my Galaxy Watch 3 lasts 5 days. That's all I need it. I don't need it to charge via solar. I could just charge it on my nightstand.
Yeah.
So, yeah, speaking of Samsung, they like to troll Apple. Like, we've already seen this so many times with the ingenious ads they did a few years ago. And they actually tweeted a whole Twitter thread. And they even like rented a billboard somewhere with some like stuff making fun of Apple. So they said, "What the flip, Apple? We've been flexing since, well, they're basically flexing their Galaxy Z Flip phones. They've been flexing their Galaxy Z Flip phones, and they're acting as if they're the best thing since sliced bread. And they also said, what's the hold on the fold, Apple? Apple's not going to do a fold anytime soon because there's no need. 48 megapixels, you're almost there, Apple. We've had 108 megapixels for over a year. Yet the iPhone camera still beats the Galaxy phones in a lot of camera tests.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about this Apple being made fun of?
It's embarrassing.
By Samsung.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they also made an ad that says "Join the flip side."
Join the flip side.
Oh my days! Nobody's gonna like. If I have an iPhone, I'm not gonna buy a flip.
No.
I'm not even gonna buy a
Me
fold.
either.
I'm not gonna buy a flip because I don't want to take my phone out and open it all the time I need to use it, and I don't want to fold because I'm forced to use the inner display all the time because the outer display sucks and is barely functional. And also, I don't want the screens to scratch.
Just get an
very
iPad
easily.
and an iPhone.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Just get an iPad mini, stick it in your pocket. It'll fit most pockets anyway. Or get an iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is almost the same size.
It's an iPad
True.
mini anyways.
Yeah. And you could always fold the iPad mini. It's not that
Once.
hard. Yeah, once, of course. But then no. But now you have unlimited replacements with Apple Care. So just get Apple Care with it.
Yep.
And like
Oh, it's
whenever
right.
you fold it in half to put it in your pocket, just go to the nearest Apple store and get it replaced.
And you
Problem
get
solved.
to peel the stickers off it again.
Exactly. You get a whole new experience every time. Why would you want to fold at that point?
I saw somebody with one, and I'm just like, bruh, how are these things like getting so much attention now? It's like just because it's new and improved and whatever. It's like, goddamn, people just
Yeah,
don't.
I've never,
I don't know
still to this day, I've never seen someone with a flip or a fold.
it's so embarrassing.
what, dude. They're so. I've seen them everywhere now. I'm seeing them everywhere.
It's probably because
More the.
they're very expensive here,
Mhm.
and the prices of everything are going up because of electricity, and we also
Yeah,
have a prime minister
yeah.
with 2 brain cells, and we have a dead queen. So that's probably all of that together is making all the
We
prices
also
go
have
up.
a dog as a king now, so enjoy.
I will say I have seen more of the flip than I have the fold,
Yeah,
which is
Yeah,
surprising.
because nobody has the money
Which
for
is
a fold.
true,
unless you're Linus.
true.
Unless you're what?
Unless you're Linus. And he could use pretty much anything.
That is true, though. That is true. All right. So next one is what I've
Oh,
lost
yeah.
it.
Wait, do you know what, Connor? Before you move on to, you know where you can find Linus, right?
LTGstore.com.
No.
Nope.
What, like if
Nowhere
you want
around
to
here.
see what his thoughts and stuff are, where would you go apart from YouTube or
Oh,
Instagram
you go to Twitter,
or TikTok?
of course.
Exactly.
They're,
And what's happening with Twitter?
they're testing an edit button, finally. And guess what? I can get rid of all my typos now.
Awesome. Yeah, and
Dude.
I think the catch is it remains editable up to 30 minutes. So Connor, you can't go fix all those typos, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, I
Oh
did
damn.
tweet out. I did tweet out for the record, so it's not just me that thinks the Queen is dying. An hour, like 25 minutes before, we actually got the announcement. It's not. I did, for the record, tweet that out. So I called it.
Anyway, no, there actually were some people that tweeted before she actually died, and then they deleted the tweet.
I deleted the tweet as well.
Yeah,
What-
conspiracy theories. Anyway, that's all the news we had for today. It's been an interesting episode. Great way to kick off season 2. What do you guys think about the new quality and everything? We're kicking Connor off the podcast, by the way.
Yeah, he's gone. It's just me and Benjy again. Bye, Connor.
All right.
If you guys if you guys want Connor to stay, we'll make a tweet, and if he gets 100 likes, he'll return. Connor's just gonna go buy 100 likes.
No. Wait. Benjy. Back up. If
Don't
it
make a promise.
If it gets 100 tweets and 100 likes and retweets, he'll stay.
So it has to get 100 likes and 100 retweets. Okay.
Oh, I'm screwed.
It's fine. Connor, if you really want to stay, just go into some dodgy, sketchy website where you can buy likes and retweets.
Or I'll
Pay
just
like 10
go to
euros and.
Or I'll go to one of those Reddits that people just like a bunch of tweets, and you'll get over 1,000 tweets.
So before we wrap up today's episode, we've got 2 more things we wanted to talk about. One of them is my experience with test driving a Tesla, which we'll do afterwards because I need to recover my energy a second. But Taylor, do you want to tell us about your experience with the Final Cut Pro trial and tell us how it's been going?
Dude, I love it. I regret not getting it sooner. It's really, really good. I think that, I've downloaded some motion VFX stuff, some plugins and whatnot. Um, and I don't remember what the name was. I know that you and I looked at one and it was for like messaging or whatever. It was like a message pop up thing. And that specific one, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, Benji, but that specific one um, makes my the edit just really laggy. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I mean, other than that, yeah, it's probably because it's Intel, probably.
I have one
Um,
chip handles. Okay,
what
you
is
need
it?
to render it out.
Hmm, yeah. So,
Also, your Mac charge,
I
so that's
mean,
also a problem.
yeah, let's not go back there, okay? Charging now, it's fine. Let's not go back there.
I sent
But
you a link to a
yeah,
16 Mac Pro if you want one.
yeah, I saw that. I'll deal with you later. But no, I honestly think that if you can, like, like Connor here does, renew the trial a few times, or just buy it for
Yes.
$300, which is $300 one time purchase. So it's worth it. If you want to really upgrade your edit. Um, yeah, so I mean that's really what I want to say about it. I'm still learning, of course I've been using it for a short time. So there are a lot of things that I still need to do. But yeah, if you've seen my videos for the last, I don't know, maybe week or so, or maybe more at this point. I know we've done like a couple of videos, and they're all edited with Final Cut, and I don't regret it, and I'm not moving back to like iMovie or occasionally I'll probably do a video
Especially
with
on iMovie.
It's about
yeah.
damn time.
Occasionally, I might do a video with VLLO that I've been doing it with my phone and my iPad, for on the go stuff. But other than that, it's all going to be edited with Final Cut from now on, and hopefully in a couple months I can buy the full version. I'm not sure if there is a big difference between the trial and the
No difference.
the
You just,
It's the
regular.
exact
just
same.
Is it? All
yeah,
right.
no
So yeah,
difference.
that was one thing that I wasn't sure of if there was like more features or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend it if you have a MacBook, and if you don't have a MacBook, buy one.
Exactly.
because
As you said
because
before, gather your friends around in a room, and if they don't have a MacBook, if they use a PC,
Give them a bad
then you
head.
can't be friends with them anymore.
you know why I say this is because I know a friend who does videos as well. He's just starting out, and he was telling me that he has a Windows laptop, and he was like, "Dude, there's like little to no editors that I really like um, on my computer. So I have to go to my girlfriend's computer that is an iMac, and I'm using iMovie. He's just starting out, so that's why he's using iMovie. But I've already told him, I'm like, dude, if you like it and you're already used to it, try Final Cut Pro because it's so much better, and you can do the 90-day trial. You know.
That's what I've been saying for the last year or so when you've mentioned this.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. I think Connor
Really,
now needs to tell. I think Connor now needs to tell us his secrets of how he can renew it all the time, because yeah, it's just really worth it. Trust me.
working on a video.
I, oh, gets cancelled by Apple. Um,
I probably will
yeah, I've
get
been using
video
Final
too.
Cut Pro. I've been using Final Cut Pro for years, and it's literally just paid for itself at this point. Like, I've done so much work with it that it was
I've been
basically free.
so I've been using Final
Wow.
Cut Pro Pro for 6 months, and here are my thoughts.
Nothing.
Oh, that was. I've been using it for now since May of 2020. I've been using Final Cut Pro, and
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
started using it on 2015 iMac 21.5-inch with a spinning drive.
Wow.
It was actually exporting videos faster than my 2020 model Intel laptop. That was Windows. So once I switched up to M1, I've done some things on this laptop that I could never do on my Windows laptop, which just so happens to be right here. So yeah, I could never do, even though there's a beefy cooling system and all, I could never do on this what I could do on that. Pointing at my MacBook for this.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah, I'm never
Apple
looking at
just
it. I've tried.
makes. Go ahead.
The best person.
Yeah, I've tried Premiere a couple weeks ago. Like Premiere is great, but it's just like it's a lot more expensive, and honestly, for the amount of extra features you get, at least at this point, I don't think it's really worth paying the monthly subscription and spending more in the end. Just
For
have
me,
a couple extra. I'd rather spend that money on plugins for Final Cut Pro. Honestly,
I
But
would.
Yeah,
but
because
that's
that's
just me.
all. Because
Yeah,
that's all
also-
one-time things, you know.
exactly.
I would pay for
And
the
I mean-
subscription, but I also don't pay for that either. So like, I also get because I do actually enjoy both Premiere and Final Cut. I'm impartial to both. But the
I
plugins
mean,
are-
honestly, if it was a monthly thing and it was like really expensive, I wouldn't do it. But since it's a one-time thing, I've already made the decision. In a couple months, when I have enough money and I'm not worried about anything else, then I am going to do it because honestly, it's just so worth it. You know.
yeah, the watch,
Now, hopefully,
Final Cut.
true, but yeah.
Or do you want to
Uh,
save up for the iPhone with a dynamic island, or
Do you want to go to Dynamic
Yeah,
Island?
no, I'm all set with that. I'm all set with that. I'm all set with that.
yeah?
I'm-
Well, one thing I want to say about Final Cut Pro though that I think sucks and something that Premiere has is a built-in like captions generator.
Yes.
Mm.
That
In
has
I
Yeah.
tried the one in Premiere and it's literally magic. I love it. But in Final Cut Pro, I have to download another program that doesn't even work 100% well, and it's just a nightmare. So, Apple, if you're watching this, if you're about to update Final Cut Pro, please make it easier to add captions to videos because right now it's an absolute pain.
Yeah.
And the captions that you can add are terrible.
I mean, I don't mind. Like, the biggest thing with Final Cut for me is not having the color grading tools. That is a huge, and the audio engineering tools. Those two things
Yeah.
are a huge thing for me. I need the more professional, like all the color wheels and everything that Premiere has. So if
Yep.
I'm doing a more intense project, I'll go to Premiere. If I'm just doing something quick, it's generally Final Cut. Since I have a whole Final Cut flow done out.
So before we wrap up, just wanted to talk a little bit about my 2 Tesla test drives that I've done in the past couple of weeks. I managed to do 2.
Bruh.
Yes. I test drove the Model 3 and the Model Y.
And he's buying
Both
tomorrow.
amazing cars. What?
And you're actually buying one tomorrow. You bought one off used inventory.
How did you know? What? No.
Because we were talking in the group chat about how you were going to finance it. That's how.
No, honestly, in all honesty though, I was about to get a job and I was considering getting a Tesla on like financing or lease, but then I went to see
Ooh.
how much the car insurance would cost, and it's $7,000 a year
Thank
Ouch.
you.
compared to the grand that I pay for my current car. So that's 7 times more to be insured on a Tesla.
Hey, do it.
I
Like,
ap-
my
That's
car's
apparently
bogus.
it's because of like the acceleration and stuff, and also the parts are very expensive to replace.
yeah, because if you
So
told Tesla, you just have to. They just give you a new one. That's how it works. It's like
I don't know about that, but
for repair, and they just give you a new one.
yeah, they take the Apple approach to things. No, but honestly, the Teslas are they're both of the ones, both the Model 3 and the Model Y are great cars. The acceleration is really, really good. It's like it's something you have to experience because it's so cool. And then yeah, there's things like like on the screen it shows you the blind spot when you turn the indicator on. The indicator is kind of weird a little bit because like when you turn it on, you have to press it again in the same direction to turn it off. It's very strange unless it like automatically turns off like other cars. Autopilot was okay as well. I tried it in the Model Y. I didn't try it in the Model 3 because I didn't know how to turn it on. But I turned it on in the Model 3, Model Y. That was cool. And I mean, yeah, Teslas are cool. If you want to buy an electric car, buy a Tesla. If you want to buy a car in general, buy a Tesla because they're cool. Just because they're cool.
Benjy has agreed to buy everyone on the podcast a Model S Plaid.
Oh yeah, exactly. I just made I just made a ton of money with Bitcoin, so
yeah.
Damn.
I mean, Sergey,
send me your address. Send me your address, guys. I'll send you a Model S
it
Plaid.
is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8C 10 5 0.
What?
Jeez.
I lost you in the first number there.
Yeah, me too.
You can try send someone Bitcoin with that address. You probably won't get me, but you know.
Anyway, that is it for this episode of the Tech Unlocked podcast. Unless you guys have anything else you would like to add.
Nope, I'm all set.
Think of something controversial.
Connor, do you have any last words?
Yes.
Before we kick you off.
I'll be talking to my friend Andrew Tate, and I'll be back.
Okay, it's good. Connor's gonna go join Rumble. No, honestly, if we do end up getting Connor to stay on the show, we'll probably have to consider going to Rumble.
Yeah, I won't cancel you as much if I get kept on.
But anyway, thanks everyone for listening or for watching this episode of the Tech Unlocked podcast.
Again, let me just say, if the podcast gets 100 likes and 100 retweets, Connor gets to stay.
Yeah, so we'll make a separate tweet on the Tech Unlocked podcast Twitter page. So if you guys go follow it.
And Connor, you cannot make bogus accounts and start spam liking it.
But what if I share it from my account and tell people to go like it? I'm using my fan base.
I mean, your 3 followers can go retweet.
Yeah, my 3 active session.
But it's nowhere near 100. Anyway, yeah, so if you guys want to follow us or anything, the links will be in the description below as well, or the show notes, as well as all the news topics that we covered. This was episode 44 of the Tech Unlocked podcast, or season 2, episode 1, whatever you want to call it. We'll catch you guys next week in our next episode, which probably won't be as long, and I probably won't need to do as much editing.
This was a long one.
Have a good one.
See you guys.
So, Gurman has reacted to the Apple Watch Ultra, and he says we measure battery life.
No.
Garmin,
wait.
not Gurman.
Oh,
Garmin's the company, not Mark Gurman.
I always assume they're the same thing.